now we're doing the last. We're going to skip a few of them and go straight to mask on page 38. Now this is my favorite part on Photoshop that I'm going to teach you in these activities. We're going to talk about masks. Now, masking is like paint that you can brush on or off. It comes in 3 different colors. Black for transparent, gray for partially transparent, and white for fully visible, opaque. Any of the Adobe Photoshop tools can be used on a mask. So we're going to open up Mall Entrance and Mall Fountain. Open those 2 files. It's in your Unit 1 Part 2 Photoshop. So we got Mall Entrance and Mall Fountain. I hold down Shift to select them both and click Open. And we got Mall Entrance, Mall Fountain. Okay. Go to the Mall Fountain image. And we're going to drag it down so it has its own window. And we're going to click on this layer. Click on its layer like we did in the previous layers exercise. And we're going to drag it right into the Mall Entrance. And it basically copies right over. So now you see 2 layers in the Layers panel. You got the Mall Entrance and then the Mall Fountains directly over it. So you got 2 layers now, 2 different layers. The Mall Entrance on the bottom, Mall Fountain on the top. All right, now I'm going to show you a little bit about masking. Make sure that the Mall Fountain is centered right over Mall Entrance. And we're going to click on the Paintbrush Tool or type D on your keyboard. Now, I don't know if you noticed this, but when you press D, your color palette, foreground and background colors change to the default colors, black and white. So pressing D goes to default colors, black and white. X switches between foreground and background color. Now, we want the Paintbrush tool. So B is the shortcut to the Paintbrush tool. And what we are going to do is now, one thing to remember is black makes something transparent in a mask so that the background image will show through. So we're going to set the paintbrush to a larger size. I'm going to choose one of these paintbrushes with a transparent outside. And you can use the brackets next to the P to increase and decrease. Now, what you have to do is we're going to create a mask. Now, the best way to do it is go to the bottom of the Layers panel and click on Add Layer Mask. It looks like a little camera right here. See this right here? It says Add Layer Mask. Click that one time. Now, masks are great because, like I said earlier, it's like you can paint with a brush and turn it off and on. Now, you can paint on this mask without actually painting on the photo. And I'm going to explain what I mean. Now, when I clicked on Add Layer Mask, you see that right here? That's the mask. Now watch what I do. Everybody turn and watch. Now check it out. I got black as my foreground color and I'm making all this go away. Now watch this. I'm going to press X and change white to my foreground color, and then it wipes back on. So you can take on and off on the mask, and it's not permanent. Hit X again, and see, I'm going to go around the fountain here. Now if you look on the mask when I release my mouse, you can see black where I colored over it. So I'm going to make it look like a floating fountain. Get rid of the people. Leave the little plants. See, black takes away and white adds back. All right, one more thing. Before we quit, I want to show you another effect you can use with the gradient. If I get the gradient tool and change it to my gray value stripes, now watch what happens when I do this. It adds like a gradual fade from the mall entrance to the mall fountain all the way across. So it uses the grays, blacks, and whites to kind of mix in between. What a perfect way to do like a montage of a whole bunch of photos. Now, keep in mind, if you have more than 2 photos, each photo that's on top of the bottom one, you'll need to add a layer mask to. So if we had a third photo and I wanted to do the masking effect, I would have to add a mask, layer mask to it as well. All right, so get it saved with just the floating mall fountain, and then we'll save this as mallmask.jpg in your lesson 1 folder. And click save. And OK. And there you go. Now that is the most useful, interesting trick that I've done so far in Photoshop.